Okay, for number 19, we'll be solving this rational equation, and you know the deal. We are going to factor, and just the denominators, all right? And then multiply everything by the lowest common denominator. Okay, we see x minus 8, we cannot factor. X minus 4, we cannot factor. This one, we can, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So x and x right here. And now what times 4 give us positive 32, and together they add up to be negative 12. We need to use negative 8 and negative 4, all right? And now you see here is going to be the lowest common denominator, and let me just put it down right here for you guys. Do we have any factors in common on the denominators? Well, we see that this is x minus 8, let's put a parentheses. This right here, it's the same as that. We can just put it down one time, right? So here is the first one right here. And next, we see that this is x minus 4, and we also have an x minus 4 in common. So the second one is just x minus 4. And that's it. This will be the lowest common denominator for all these three fractions. And you know the deal. I put down this space right here because I can just write down the LCD right next to it, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Multiply x minus 8, x minus 4 right here with the first one. And then for the second one, we'll do the same thing. X minus 8, x minus 4. And then don't forget to do the third one right here as well. Multiply this right here by x minus 8 times x minus 4. Okay, so that's a setup. Now, for the first fraction now, we will have the x minus 8, they cancel each other out. And we see that we will have to take the x times this x. That will give us x squared. And then continue x times negative 4, that's minus 4x, okay? And for the second one here, we have to cancel out the x minus 4 and x minus 4. And here we have a negative 2. Be sure you take the negative 2, distribute it into the parentheses. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And we take the negative 2 times negative 8. Negative times the negative becomes a positive, and 2 times 8 is 16. So once again, be sure we account for this negative, all right? Do this carefully. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x, and negative 2 times negative 8, we get the positive 16. Okay, to continue, right here, this and that cancel, so that's nice. And likewise, x minus 4 and x minus 4 cancel. That's also nice. For this right-hand side, we just have the top right here left. So we have the negative 3x plus 56. Okay, no more fractions. That's great. And we do have the x squared term though. Now, on the left-hand side, let's combine items first, because I see we have this minus that. So therefore, we have x squared, negative 4x minus 2x, that's negative 6x, and we add the 16, right? And this is equal to this, negative 3x plus 56. And I will move these two terms to the left-hand side, so I can have the 0 on the right-hand side. So let's add the 3x on both sides, right here and right here. And I will subtract 56 on both sides. So you see, this and that will cancel, this and that will cancel. And on the left-hand side now, we will have this, x squared and this and that together, negative 6x plus 3x, that's negative 3x. And then here we have plus 16 minus 56, that's going to be negative 40. And this is equal to the 0 that we need. So here we can factor the left-hand side. This is not a bad situation because we only have a 1 in front of the x squared, right? So I'll just put down this as something times something. And we know we have to have x times x to get the x squared. Okay, what times 12 give us negative 40? And together, they add up to be negative 3. Well, the choice is going to be, we are going to use negative 8 plus 5. Negative 8 times positive 5 give us negative 40. And negative 8 plus 5, we do have the negative 3. And this is still equal to 0. Okay? And now I will finish up the questions right here. I will have to set the first factor equal to 0, and I also have to set the second factor equal to 0. solve, right? So the first one is x minus 8 equal to 0, and the second one is x plus 5 equal to 0. For the first one, we can just add the 8 on both sides. So it seems like we have the first answer is x is equal to 8. Likewise, for the second one, I will subtract 5 on both sides. So it seems that we have a possible second answer, x is equal to negative 5. Okay, in this case, don't be too excited, because let me tell you, one of them is actually fake. It's a fake answer. How do we know? Don't forget, we have to plug in this x value back to the original equation, especially the denominator. Be sure we don't have any 0 in the denominator, okay? You see, when x is equal to 8, when I plug in 8 into the first fraction, the denominator, we will have 8 minus 8, and that's a 0 in the bottom. That's no good. That will make the whole thing undivided. So in this case, x equal to 8, this is actually a fake answer, right? This is a fake answer. And to be technical, this is called the extraneous solution. But we are going to just get rid of that. Once again, if you make the denominator equal to 0, that's no good, all right? So I will just tell you real quick, this is fake because when I plug in 8 into the original, we will have 8 on the top because that was the x. And then here we have the x right here as well. So this is technically 8 minus 8, and then the rest, right? Doesn't matter the rest anymore. But you see, 8 minus 8, we have 8 on the top over the 0 on the bottom. This is no good. That's why. Anyway, for the second one, we have x is equal to negative 5. Take negative 5, plug into the original denominator. Negative 5 minus 8. You see, I'm looking at the 1 before we cancel it out, the original, okay? Negative 5 minus 8 is negative 13. That's not 0, so that's good. Negative 5 minus 4, it's negative 9. It's not 0, that's good. And then just plugging this number into the factorative form x. Negative 5 minus 8 is not 0. Negative 5 minus 4, it's not 0. So this right here is actually legitimate. This right here is the only solution. And this is the only one that I can box for you guys. And this is the only one that we can present for the actual answer to that equation. And this is it.